the legendary.
What up? What up? What up,
FreeWay.
man? What up,
Ricky
Joe?
Ross.
In the building, man.
The legendary. Now, FreeWay, I don't know you personally, but I respect you and everything you've come from. I respect the fact that you're able to stay out of jail.
Well,
How many years you been out of jail?
I've been out going on 11 years now.
Shit. Like,
Hey, Joe.
I mean,
Hey, Joe, we did our time off of you in Big Pun. What you saying?
no.
In the basement. Rap City.
All that. Yeah, you know, rest in peace, Pun, man. And, you know, we always, every time I made my music, I got so many homies that did so much time in jail and did, you know, so many years that I would picture them in a cell. And when I made my music, this real shit, I would paint the picture so that when you heard it, you felt like you was there. Like you was there when the shit was going down and everything we was saying, whether it was the skits, it was the music, the shit we was doing. And, you know, I got lucky, you know, a little luckier than you. You know, I got out the game right on time when they invented the RICO law and all my friends was getting 70 years. And they was like, yo, the Tremont mob, 60 of them got caught. And, yo,
I stayed a few years too long.
Boys,
I stayed
48 of them. And then that's when I said, yo, you know what? I'm going to rap. I'm going to change my life. And I got blessed and I got lucky. That's why I believe so much in God. But I've always made music or carried myself as an individual with them in mind and the era I came from and repping them the right way to make sure, you know, we don't never look like clowns out here. We do this the right way. We put out the right music. We represent the right morals. And that's where I've been at with it. You know, as far as you, I mean, give somebody here the brief story about you. You ain't got to go into too much, but, you know, you was the biggest.
I grew up in South Central Los Angeles. Started selling dope at 19 years old. Was really trying to be a tennis player, though. You know what I'm saying? I was really trying to be a square. I tell all my friends, I really want to be a square. You know what I'm saying? That street shit wasn't what I wanted. You know, it was kind of like forced on me. But I accepted it, you know, as my own. And a lot of times, you know, we good at making stuff that ain't good for us ours. We claim it and be willing to die and kill for it. So I started selling dope at 19. I started with $125. Before I went to prison, you know, I had days I made as much as $3 million in one day. My last 2 years, I made at least $1 million every single day. Not profit, but, you know, that kind of money went through my hand with the re-up money and whatnot. Got arrested at 28. Got lucky. You know, I had some cops on my team that was crooked, was stealing money and planting drugs and going to court line and everything. So I was able to be smart. I hired a private investigator to investigate them before I ever got arrested. I got my first RICO indictment dropped from that. Wind up doing 5.5 years on that. Got out before I could get established again because I've been messing with the music for a long time. You know, I was in the music business.
I saw that on the Drink Champ. Shout out my brother Nori, where you was already messing with the music. You could have signed Dre and NWA.
I could have had the whole West Coast music business. I had the money to put it on. I had the connections. I knew Dick Griffey, Otis Smith, Berry Gordy in the early 80s, you know, like 83, 84. I knew DJ Pooh, King T, you know. I even got the Alcoholics signed while I was in jail. Bars. From behind bars, yeah. I got them.
You know what was crazy for me, Rick? I used to be in Harlem, and I knew this guy. He was a former dope fiend, but now he was making money. So you know the dope fiends, they hands where they shot the dope was like puffy, was almost like a baseball glove.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely. Like, it gets
rough. shooting dope gone wrong or something where this shit is like elephant, right? So there was this dude, his name was Man. And I remember when I was getting a couple of dollars, I had it too. He pulled me over in Harlem because we was in Harlem. He pulled on a block and they had about 10 tenement buildings, like what we would call crackhead buildings. And he was like, yo, Joe, buy every one of these buildings right here. They only want $1 for them. As long as you fix them up, you'll own. Now, them shit's worth $5-10 million each one of those brownstones.
No doubt.
I ain't listened to him. I was busy buying jewelry, buying cars. I ain't listened to him. And he tried to put me on to the future. And you, in a bigger way, you was there with Barry Gordy. Barry Gordy is Motown. You was there with the biggest in the game.
Well, I was there
you chose to rock with them.
With some of the first independent, those dudes were the first independent record labels. I had my hand on the post, but you know, I was a young dude. I wasn't but 24 years old, no high school diploma, no formal education, didn't know his daddy. You know, my big homies was Tookie Williams, Cartoon, you know, dudes that you know, you look back now and you be like, wow, you know, lucky I didn't follow that path. So you know, I didn't really know much, you know.
Yeah, because you was more of like getting. Don't let me put things in the air, but you was more like, not to elaborate, but you was more into like you born somewhere else. The whole purpose of me doing this with you is to show people that you can become a product of your environment. A man who's as intelligent as you, who built the business that was making $3 million a day. Had you been born in the suburbs somewhere, you could have owned General Electric or Fortune 500 company the way you ran this.
Well, no doubt. You know, when I look back at life, life is really all about getting your light bulb turned on. You know, if you look back at your life, you was going along and then somebody put you up on rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that person is, but if you think back to that person, that very first person that brought it to your attention, and then somebody started to tell you that you could make it in rap. Because if we never get schooled, then we don't know. You know, you can't know what you don't know unless somebody teach you. So you know, when I look at it, I became a product of my environment. I started doing what everybody else in the neighborhood was doing. They made selling dope look cool and be cool, and I thought it was cool, so I got in.
But my thing is, listen, bro, I'm a firm believer, 1,000,000%, that you are a product of your environment, and hey, the shit that was in need, the shit that was in high demand was the crack. You know Absolutely. What I mean? So you chose, if it was olives, you would have sold olives.
It's no different than right now. I'm doing the same thing right now. You know, right now, the main thing is in demand is this coronavirus. So what am I doing? I'm chasing cures. I'm out looking for the cures for the coronavirus. I'm looking for how to stay safe, what we need to be doing. A lot of people don't know, but I went on Vlad TV the 17th of March, and I told everybody that this coronavirus was going to hit blacks harder than it was hitting anybody else. How did I know that? Because I've been doing my research. You know, I knew that it was attacking obesity. I knew it was attacking high blood pressure. I knew it was attacking the blood transfusion. What is it called?
Kidney dialysis.
Dialysis. So all of those things that I knew was running rapid in our community. You know, I know that we don't eat right. You know, I've been a vegan for 30 years now.
Wow.
You know, I don't eat no sugar, no salt, no butter. I haven't ate animal in 30 years. So just to show you that I've been pushing good health. I've been pushing conditioning and looking for the solutions. So that's just how I get down.
So what do you mean that you're looking for the cure for coronavirus? What do you like? Elaborate. Like, what are you working on vaccines? Are you like, what are you doing?
I'm looking for doctors that's been on the front line, that's been dealing with these type of things, because a lot of times we be looking too big. You know what I'm saying? We in this country we've made this fictitious or
Facade.
facetious facade about
Facade, yep.
if you're not big, if you're not rich, you don't know. And I know from experience that that's not the case. Just like you said, the crackhead that came up to you, everything that I ever did came from crackheads because I didn't make it in school. You know, I didn't get my education in school. I got my education from the streets. So I don't look at life the same way a lot of people do. If I see a bum laying on the street, my thing is, how did he get here? Because if you don't know how he got there, then you can't judge him.
You know, I used to sit down with them, and when I used to hustle, I used to speak to them, and you'd be surprised how many of them would say, yo, I was the man. I used to have the Cadillac with the white walls. I had all the women in the world, and believe it or not, and I don't want to go there because a large of my population and the people I love the most are women, but a lot of guys were blaming them on their women when they was using the dope and all that. They were like, yo, I caught my best friend sleeping with my wife. Yo, I caught my brother sleeping with my wife. I this. And when I used to get around to talking to them, a lot of them, at least for me, they were blaming it on that. And I learned a lot by talking to them. I was young, maybe 18, 19, those ages. But I was learning a lot from them and just like, damn, these niggas was like big time guys. And then when I would ask other dope heads, they'd be like, yo, that was Bruce. Bruce was the man. Yo, that was such and such. He was the man. Yo, that was this.
Well, you know, pun, in that game, it only take one mistake. You know, you could take that needle and stick it in your arm one time, or you can hit that pipe one time, and you may never come back. You know, if you ain't strong, you can be stuck in that position for who knows how long. You know, I don't know people to be stuck for 40, 50 years. I don't know some to be stuck for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, it varies. You know what I'm saying? So a person really got to be careful with everything they do, and that brings us right back to where we at right now with this coronavirus. You know, this thing is a lot more seriouser than a lot of people taking it. I see you wearing your mask. You know, shout out to you for following the rules. You know, but a lot of times, you know, we start to think that this stuff is some kind of conspiracy theory, that it's not real. You know, that people are not really dying, that they playing with the numbers and all that. But when you playing with something this serious, you can't take that chance.
Well, I personally know about 20 to 30 people who died. Like my man's pops and my man's moms and friend of mine's sister. Like I know about 30. So what happens is, like, when you watching the news, right? I said this yesterday. When you watching the news, so say coronavirus, it was in China, but it wasn't affecting us. So you look at it on the news, you're like, some shit is going on in China, but that ain't really bothering me. So you in the club popping bottles or whatever. So in this country, apparently the whole East Coast, like New York and New Jersey and down to DC now, it's on fire with the corona and it's mad deaths. I'm from there. Like, you from South Central LA, I'm from New York. So I know a bunch of people that's passing away because of the coronavirus. So I know how real it is. But then there's spots in America where it ain't so serious. So people are looking at it like, what coronavirus? Like, that shit ain't real, but it's very real.
Well, you know, I think just a month ago, 30 days ago, we recorded our first death in the U.S. And 30 days later, we had 38,664 deaths right now today. So you talking about in 30 days, you know, I hear people saying, well, people die in cars, people die from the flu. Yeah, but we haven't had nobody die, 36,000 people in 30 days. That's a serious issue, and it's too many unknowns. You know, like they saying, if you get it, then you can't get it again. But they don't really know that because they saying, oh, it came back to somebody. So we got to be careful that we don't know if it comes back harder the next time. You know, if it break you down a little bit and then come back. So right now, we really all have to be careful. We need to be practicing social distances, even if your governor tell you that it's okay to come out, you know, and loosen up.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to go back too quick. Look, I'm cooped up in the house. I don't want to be in the house. I love going to restaurants, doing whatever I want to do, but you know, I gotta be careful, man, because if I go down, my family go down, my people go down. I take care of over 30 people. So I gotta think of not just myself, which I am thinking about myself, but I gotta think about my people. You know what I'm saying? So this shit is crazy and it's too real. Let's get back to the drug thing. Me, myself, I don't use drugs, right? Not even weed. And I ain't got nothing against weed because a lot of my friends smoke weed and they law about it and they good and it looks good. It looks like real good. But me personally, I had too many of my friends become addicted to drugs, whether it was crack, whether it was dope, whether it was this, and all they had to do was use it one time. And now it's the opioids with the pills. They use the shit one time, they become addicted, and then, you know, they stuck, they fucked up. They you know, they lose their money, the shit get worse. Because you think while you on drugs, you're using these drugs to escape reality, but all you're doing is putting yourself in a bigger hole, bigger box, bigger whatever the case may be. So
well, you know,
that's
the opioids, these pills that they gave out are worse than even the street level drugs. It's just more expensive. And what happens is once they get them started on those pills, then they have to go to the street because they can get a cheap bag of heroin for $5 when they have to pay $100 for those pills. So it definitely was a big stink about how the doctors was writing all those prescriptions. But you know,
even Rick, even with this virus, if you want to play, I'm not into conspiracies, but if you want to be in a conspiracy theory, this virus is killing blacks and Latinos more than anything. The shit is attacking the older people, then it's attacking everybody with diabetes or asthma or high blood pressure. Then it's going skipping and it's killing people in the jails and the homeless people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it makes you feel like if somebody made a perfect drug for black and Latinos or a perfect virus, this would be it.
Yeah, well, if you know the genetic makeup of most people, you know that it's cheaper to go and eat at McDonald's than it is to go and get a good healthy meal. So a lot of times what poor people do is they take the poor route and they go to McDonald's and the fast food restaurants and buy those meals, but everybody knows that those meals are not healthy. You know, most of those meals have absolutely no protein, and what we need to build our body up is protein. And without protein, you're not giving your body no nourishment.
That's a fact. And my thing is, you know, I'm for the people, man. I come up off the soil. You know what I mean? So the only reason I got on this IG to talk to people was to wake our people up and let them know that there's an invisible enemy out there that's on them. And a lot of people get offended with me when I say, yo, get your asses up in the house. Because sometimes you got to talk to motherfuckers like that. And the fact that when you alluded to this earlier, but I'm going to break it down in dummy talk. Only dummies can understand. When you got motherfuckers out in front of the hood telling the police, oh, this my hood. You can't tell me shit about this hood. Yo, this my shit. I run this shit. This my hood. When the motherfuckers is renting an apartment, that if they mother don't pay the rent for 3 months, they get thrown out the fucking crib. It ain't really they hood.
Real talk.
But they out there acting like assholes, and they don't want to listen to nobody. And then the thing that fucks me up is I'm not a politician. I'm not down with the media, none of that shit. But when I watch the media and the media saying, yo, if you stay home, you're going to live. So far, they've been right. I've been home. I ain't catch the Rona. You
No
understand
doubt.
what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So and you know, everybody got a conspiracy. One day they tell me it's the 5G network. The next day they tell me about this. The next day, everybody a smart motherfucker who got somebody that work at the Pentagon in their family. Like, these niggas got to stop. They got to stop, and I can't do it. You know, I come a long way. Yeah. I'm educated. I'm a nice guy. I'm a businessman. But fuck no. I can get ignorant too. I can get on their level. These motherfuckers always, since I was born, they were showing me conspiracy tapes about the Illuminati, the this. I don't want to hear that shit, man. They telling you stay home, don't pass the fucking blunt, and go in your house. Now, why
don't drink after nobody? Don't drink after the bottle. Don't drink after the bottle. Huh?
Yeah, FreeWay, man. These motherfuckers.
They was saying stay 6 feet, but now they saying that they think that thing might fly 13 feet.
Bro, let me tell you something. I don't trust nothing. My wife been like, yo, let's ride bike. Let's this. I'm like, yo, I don't know if this shit is in the floor. I don't know if this shit is in the air.
Nobody really knows. And they got people that say they don't know where they got it from. One of the guys I saw, he was doing an interview, and he said that he's the kind of guy to go be by himself. So he said, I was by myself for 10 days. And then all of a sudden I got sick. But what we know is that the virus will stay incubating inside of you. And they don't know exactly. They say 4 days, but it could go longer. And they say
how fucking crazy is that? They say some shit asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means that you actually have coronavirus, but you have no signs. So you could be out there talking to your people, loving your moms, whatever, and you getting everybody sick.
Absolutely. And 4 out of 5 people that got it, the people that gave it to them didn't know they had it.
Oh, no, that's a fact. That shit all over. They did a study on one dude from New Rochelle. I got to get that. If he's still alive, I got to get him on the show. The nigga infected 134 people in 2 days.
Wow.
He must have been going to party, dapping everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is a popular motherfucker, man.
Man, one of my partners, he dropped his album about a month and a half ago, and they was telling me they was going from club to club. I was like, man, you ain't hearing? They got cities that's quarantining right now. Man, this shit is serious. And a lot of the cities that didn't heed to the shutdown are having some of the worst problems right now.
Bro, let me tell you something, man. They gotta wake up, because they out in the streets, they ain't focused, and somebody always want to blame somebody, right? Where we from, we always want to blame the white guy. We always want to say there's a higher power fucking us. Of course, systemically, it's true, meaning that we don't have the proper health care, we don't have the proper education. You know, we somehow always got something against us systemically. Yeah, that's true. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But when we got brothers that everyone and their mother is telling them, yo, it's the most infectious disease. You can give it to your grandmother and kill her, your neighbor, your this and that, and they refuse to get the fuck off the block.
Well, you know what's really going on now too, Joe, is that it's starting to affect our food chain, the workers, the farmers. I was watching an interview last night, and it was some Spanish people who go out and pick the vegetables and stuff, because ain't nobody gonna do that job. The brothers definitely ain't gonna do it. And these guys are saying that they're sleeping in trailer homes, 20 in one trailer home, head to feet. So you can imagine once it hits there, that means that our food chain, we're not gonna have anybody to pick our fruit. Anybody that can, one broke out in one of the biggest meat packing plants the other day in Colorado. So it's something we got to do something about it. We all have to right now. If you don't know anything else to do, keep your social distancing. Stay in the house. Let's not overwhelm the system, because that's the worst thing that we can do is overwhelm the system and make everybody panic. I'm already a nervous wreck. I had Lil D on about 2 weeks ago, And, you know, Lil D did like 35 years too. Lil D was from Oakland. I don't know if you ever heard of Lil D.
Yeah, I heard of Lil D.
Well, we was on the other day, and we was talking about how even when we was going to court, looking at all that time, it didn't make you feel like this pandemic makes you feel. Because this pandemic make you feel so helpless. You know, when you're in court, I know this a man. This who I gotta beat right here. But
all right, let me go. Let me give you a word, and then you tell me what it means to you during this pandemic. I was gonna do it after you, and last night while I was sleeping, I just was thinking about this. I never did this before. Vulnerable. What vulnerable? What in the coronavirus? What do you think vulnerable? What does that mean to you?
vulnerable mean that you can't help yourself. That you have absolutely no control over the situation. Victim. Getting abused. Misused. Those are some of the things that right up.
I'm gonna let you speak, and I know people say Joe talks a lot, so I'm letting you get it off. Vulnerable to me at this point right now has let me know that human beings, we're no bigger than a chicken wing. Like right now, it's an invisible enemy. We don't know what's going on out there. We so vulnerable. We scared because the virus goes eeny, meeny, miny, mo and kills that person. So we are not in control. And even though we know we all gonna die one day, it's something we don't like to think about. And now this is letting you know, like, holy shit. Like, am I gonna be the unlucky one that just dies if I catch this virus?
Right.
That's how I feel, right? I'm gonna give you another word. Humility, humble.
Humble, everybody should be humble. Everybody should respect each other and the universe, because we only have one planet. And if we don't take care of what we have, then one day we may not have it, because we may not get to Mars. I know they're trying to get to Mars and start another civilization, but we don't know if that's going to work out. That's almost like dealing with the SARS, something you can't see, something you can't vision. So when I think about being humble, I'm thinking about we all connected. We all must respect each other. We should all love each other. We should all help each other. Had I been running this country when I saw what was going on in China, I would have sent scientists and doctors over to give China a hand. I would have reached out. Not only would I have been doing that to help China, but I also would have been doing it so that I can get my research together. Because for 2 or 3 months, we knew absolutely nothing about what was going on with this virus. We didn't know that it was transferable human to human. We heard that animals had transferred over and gave it to some people, but we didn't have the details. But had we been proactive and not only being humble and got on the phone with China and said, what do you need? What supplies you need? What doctors you need? We got doctors, we got scientists that's ready to move out. We would have been getting firsthand information, and we wouldn't have had to worry about China giving us what they call the information, half of the information that they had.
Okay, well, humble to me means that this coronavirus has put us in a position where we don't know if we're going to be here today or tomorrow. So anybody listening to my voice that I love, just know I love you. You know, we ain't guaranteed tomorrow. We are trying to help as much as we can. Everybody I know, hip hop community, the people on the front line risk their lives every day, health workers. And this also humbled me to where even I was caught up in a society where we was just thinking about fame and fortune and luxury. You know what I'm saying? And now this taught you that ain't shit a watch could do for me, ain't shit a car could do for me, ain't shit a fur coat could do for me. When my time is up, my time is up. So it let me know this whole experience has humbled me on another level, right? I'm going to give you one more funny one. Because this is from our era. Scarface, Hassa.
The man.
The Hassa. The pig that don't fly. That don't fly straight.
A rat. But when I watched Scarface, he gave me the mentality that I could do whatever I wanted to do. For the first time, I started to see, well, you know, with human beings in general, if you never see anybody else do it, you'll never try it. So he gave me the idea that if a guy could come from Cuba with no shoes on his feet and take over, then I could do the same thing. I watched that movie so many times, you know, and I practiced a lot of the teachings that they taught in there. He was one of my first instructors about the dope game. It's crazy how that worked. Superfly was first, though.
Superfly was first?
Superfly was first. He was the first person to ever show me cocaine, that I ever saw cocaine on TV or ever really saw cocaine at all. Because I never saw cocaine before.
Did you ever have dealings with all these guys when we see Cocaine Cowboys and or we seen Georgie from Blow and he got Derek for real and they was bringing it to LA first and they was this. Did you ever meet these guys?
No, I met George. I met George after we got out of prison. I'd also talked to him one time when Nick Cassavetes was working on my script for the movie. He put me on the phone with George. You know, he wrote George's movie as well.
Wow, that's amazing. That movie Blow was incredible for me.
It was. It's one of my all-time favorites as well, and that's why I was so excited to be working with Nick. Was because he did that movie.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. So what you got going now? Are you working on the Rick Ross movie?
Yeah, man. I got a writer. We got a writer, man. We've been wrestling with this script for like 2 years. The script is dope though. The movie is gonna be off the change. My prediction is that it's gonna probably break all the box office records that they got out there, and that ain't me being humble, right?
I'm gonna support it. I'm gonna support it. Let me tell you something, man. I had my brother Khaled yesterday, and I asked him. You know, I started DJ Khaled. But I had asked him yesterday, you know, and Khaled, he bigger than me. So he you know, my little brother became the biggest nigga in the world. And
but that's what a good teacher. Hey, they say that's what a good teacher do.
You ain't lying. So I told him yesterday, I said, did you think you was gonna get this big? He said, oh yeah, I knew through hard work I was gonna get this big, and I think I'm gonna get even bigger. And that's just the mentality of a winner. I wouldn't expect FreeWay, Ricky Ross to not say that movie ain't gonna be the biggest shit in the world, because otherwise you never would have been a living legend like you are now.
No doubt, I wouldn't want to fool with it. So I got that I got going on. You know, my new book is out. This is my new book, The 21 Keys of Success. This is the one I wrote while I was in prison. FreeWay, Ricky Ross, Untold Autobiography, bestseller already. Amazon bestseller, and Amazon ain't even really been pushing that thing. This one here is on its way to be a bestseller. It's gonna probably sell more than the first one. And then you know, this right here, this is my brand, my marijuana brand. I know you don't get high, but some of us do.
Yeah. If I got high, I would smoke it. Hey, no, if I got high, I would smoke that shit. Shout out to my man Steve Lobel, the cookies, all my weed guys are here. You know what happened to me is I smoked one time, man. I ran out the crib butt naked. Not real talk. And I tripped. I had like a paranoid. I ran out, and the young lady I was with, she was in my white Lexus, the 400, and she was like, Joe, get in the thing. And I was like, I'm gonna die. I gotta go to the hospital. So she gassed me to get in the car. We made a U-turn around the block. I took like 7 showers, and I laughed for like hours and hours, but I never did the shit again. I'm scared. Nobody wants to see Fat Joe running down the street naked.
No, we don't need that. Hey, we don't need that. But you know, it ain't for everybody. It ain't for everybody. You know, out here in California, they made essential. You know, because a lot of people needed to cope with their nerves. You know, for what's going on right now.
I'm with
Yeah,
it. I'm with it. If you like weed, go to Cookies, go to my people, go get high.
No, go to LA Kingpin. Go to LA
Or go to LA
Kingpin.
Kingpin, wherever Ross got his shit. Go get high. I ain't got a problem with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you one last question, Rick.
What's that?
There's a legendary battle tonight. I don't know if you've been watching these musical battles. Teddy Riley against Babyface. Swiss Beats and Timberland got this thing where people are battling each other tonight in about 20 minutes, 15 minutes. Is going to start the battle between Babyface and Teddy Riley. Who do you got to win this battle?
I'm going to take Teddy Riley because that's my man. You know, I got to ride with Teddy, man.
I love Teddy Riley.
Teddy
but
one of the greatest.
I can't go against Babyface, man. Chubby Baby, what's up?
Babyface ain't no joke either. You know, Babyface been around a long time, a lot of hits. I mean, that you know that's a tough one.
Oh yeah,
but I like both of them. I like both of them, but I'm biased. You know, Teddy Riley's a personal friend of mine, so I'm gonna ride with Teddy.
My brother Dre from Cooler Dre, my partner, he going Teddy Riley too. He sent me a little video clip with Michael Jackson getting the water. He goes, Teddy Riley, you're a genius, and he had that shit going over and over again. I'm like, oh my God. DJ Enough in the building. Yo, listen, my brother Rick, take care of yourself, my brother. Love you, love what you do. Your positivity. Everybody gonna go get 21 Keys to Success, that book, and we gonna support you till the wheels fall off. All right, my brother?
Tell me to get it off my website, FreeWayRickyRoss.com. Don't go to Amazon. I ain't trying to be the best seller on Amazon this time. I want to sell them off my own site. So go to my site, Freeway Ricky Ross, and get it. Follow me on Instagram at Freeway Ricky.
Love you, my brother. Stay up.